Oh, Bulma, you finally cracked, haven't you? All this time messing around, inventing, creating stuff. Now look at you now. You're an invention yourself. Hey guys, DB Raya here, and today I am continuing with What if Bulma became a Z Warrior? And for the first time I actually said that title without stuttering it. So I'm feeling very proud at the moment. I usually always stutter it when I first say this title out loud every time I do a new video for some reason. Well, it's good to see that I'm finally learning. Anyways, so to continue with the story now that we're heading pretty much into the Android and Cell saga within Dragon Ball Z, it's I felt it was kind of important that we needed some way to make Bulma more relevant, because we're now getting to the stage where there's going to be Super Saiyan 2s and all the Saiyans are just going to be too powerful. So how are we going to be able to keep Bulma relevant, as in relevant to the changes we've made to her, but as well as keep her as relevant to the story than what she is in the original, but also as relevant as she is with these new changes in places that we made for her. So, you may recall that in the last part, when Goku finally landed home after dealing with King Cold and learning instant transmission on Yardrat, he was intercepted by a future version of his son, future Gohan, who had given him a warning about certain androids and that he's supposed to die of a heart virus before any of that even occurs. His son, of course, handing him the antidote like future Trunks does in the original, and also given him a stern warning that his mother, aka Bulma, had gone missing, as in Goku's wife in this reality, didn't die as far as future Gohan knew. She just disappeared and was never seen again. And well, the beginnings of that timeline had certainly begun when Bulma decided to take matters into her own hands. As we know, as Bulma does from time to time. There was quite a few times back on Planet Namek in the original, Bulma took things in her own hands. Same with throughout the original series of Dragon Ball and through other things in Dragon Ball Z. So Bulma does have the tendency to act alone and do things herself, and so I do believe that does basically work with her character in this timeline. Well, Bulma, looking through her dad's papers, was able to find the address of Dr. Gero, the scientist who was behind the Red Ribbon Army. The very same man who was supposed to build these maniacal androids that were supposed to essentially kill everyone. And even though Goku did warn us she supposedly was meant to disappear and never be seen again, it didn't stop her for trying to act on her own and essentially wage a one-woman war against Dr. Gero, ultimately being captured by Android Blue, with Android 19, 16 and Dr. Gero waiting for her. And well, she is now the new subject to his experiments. And remember, we're still a good year and a half yet before the androids are supposed to be woken up and attacking here. And well, it had been about a week before Goku actually realized that Bulma had gone missing. They were just really wrapped up in their training and, trying to make Gohan become a Super Saiyan. And well, with Raditz and Piccolo there, Gohan is definitely closer to being able to pull off the transformation because of that. Raditz, in the meantime, has learned to go Super Saiyan himself. And as for Vegeta, he's doing the same thing he always does during training. Training alone in this gravity chamber, thinking, oh, I'll increase my power level and I'll eventually become a Super Saiyan. Of course, doesn't work that way. Increasing one's power level does increase your S cells, but as we know, it's not just power level alone that pulls off the transformation. Also takes rage. Unless you're a kind-hearted, gentle-hearted Saiyan, you can pretty much transform Super Saiyan, pretty much whenever you want to, like Trunks and Goten did in the original arc. Anyways, getting sidetracked now. So pretty much with Goku realizing that Bulma's gone missing, pretty much everyone's training is on hold, and they are searching frantically for her, and they're having no luck whatsoever. Goku, of course, is blaming himself for this. How could I be so stupid? Gohan, we both know how your mother is. I bet you she went after Dr. Gero herself, just like she said she would. And now something has happened. We can't sense her. That typically means she's not on this world anymore. And of course, remember that Goku and Bulma have a bit more of a closer relationship than Goku has with Chi-Chi from their timeline. So he's really not taking this well. And from a man who was obsessed with training and getting everyone strong enough to fight the androids, it's now a man obsessed with trying to find his wife. And he's not having any luck whatsoever. Even Dr. Brief suggested that, hang on, I had some papers here that could tell you where Dr. Gero's lab was. I'll see if I can find them. They're not there anymore because Bulma took them with her. So it's really not looking so good. And well, after about 6 months of non-stop searching, eventually Raditz and Gohan were able to convince Goku to basically come back to Earth, so to speak. That's just a saying, he's not in space. Basically makes him come back down to Earth and snap out of it, and says, if you really want to avenge Bulma, then you'll have to train and make sure we get rid of these androids. If she really is dead, we can use the Dragon Balls to bring her back. And that does snap Goku out of it. But then Goku remembers they used the Earth Dragon Balls on her before. Then we'll use the Namekian ones. I'm sure King Kai could point out where New Namek is, and I'm sure they'd be happy to let us use their Dragon Balls after what we did for them. So Goku does have a bit of help, and with his instant transmission, yeah, he could very much easily do that. So with that, Goku's back on his feet and he's ready to get back into training harder than ever before. So perhaps these months of getting upset and angry that Bulma was gone may actually have a bit of a benefit for the good guys, later on, as we continue on with the story. And more or less, from there, pretty much the 3 years come and go. Vegeta and Chi-Chi pretty much have a child of their own. His name is Vegeta the 5th. Yeah, Vegeta was not going to allow Chi-Chi to name their son. So basically, Vegeta got the won that argument. After all, he's not the type who loses arguments as easily as, say, Goku does. So we've got Vegeta the 5th, and well, Chi-Chi's ultimately okay with that. I mean, her husband is Saiyan royalty after all, and she's, daughter of the Ox King, a princess in her own right. So why not let him have his Vegeta the 5th? Perhaps Chi-Chi can name their next child if they have another one. So the 3 years have come and gone, and it's time to meet up in order to face the androids. And well, instead of Bulma being there to wave everybody off and try and get a look at the androids, it's actually Chi-Chi there with baby Vegeta the 5th, who pretty much looks a lot like his father, down to his haircut and everything. And well, much like the original, 2 beings descend and actually make that 3 beings ascend, basically destroying Yajirobe's ship and descend upon the city. Now, which androids are we dealing with here? Well, We'll find out in a second. You would be right in assuming that yes, it's 19 and 20, but who's the third one? So basically, everyone descends to the city trying to find them, and everyone comes to the realization that they can't sense these beings' energy. And yeah. And well, if Bulma has been taken out by these androids, then it just makes a lot more sense that she would be taken by surprise, because you can't sense their energy. And so the whole Yamcha getting a hole through Gero happens like it does in the original, and they come, and basically Goku and the gang come across Android 19 and 20 and Android Blue, aka formerly known as General Blue from the Red Ribbon Army. And so, just like the original, Goku makes them leave that island, and the battle ensues there, and Goku is now beginning to feel the effects of the heart virus. Goku was too upset and angry over the disappearance of Bulma that he had completely forgot about the heart virus medication. And everyone else, of course, naturally forgot about too, because at some point everyone was looking for Bulma, and everyone just completely forgot about the heart medication altogether. You know, even Raditz, you know, Mr. I am the most cautious Saiyan, forgot all about the heart virus medication that his brother needed to take. And so Goku is quickly on the losing side of this, especially with Android 19 and Android Blue working together. Android Blue using his paralysis abilities, which have only increased since he's become an android. It's actually strong enough to paralyze a Super Saiyan, or at least a weakened one like Goku. And essentially Goku's taking an even more ferocious beating than what he took in the original. And well, basically Raditz is powering up to Super Saiyan and beginning to charge in and essentially free his brother, but basically Blue just turns to Raditz and paralyzes him instead. Goku's already beaten and bruised bad enough that he's not going to be able to do anything at this point. However, this is where Vegeta takes advantage and straight out attacks Android Blue and pretty much thrashes him and destroys him on the spot. And well, then quickly, you know, kicking Goku over to Raditz. Get your brother out of here, Raditz. Really, you should have known turning a Super Saiyan would only make the heart virus worse. How pathetic. And well, Raditz does begin to fly his brother home, but not before getting a good stare in the Gero, basically saying that, you know, this isn't over yet. And well, you got Vegeta battling with Android 19, which works out like it does in the original, and pretty much then you got Android 20 trying to make his quick getaway, much like he does in the original, with Vegeta bluffing him, and then taking a Senzu Bean before going after Android 20, aka Dr. Gero. And well, this is where future Gohan begins to make his reappearance, realizing that these aren't the androids from the future that he knows of. And pretty much most of the rest of this pretty much plays out like it does in the original, with ultimately Gero turning tail, going back to his laboratory to wake up Androids 17 and 18, being outmatched by this powered up dragon team. And so basically from there, they do eventually find Gero's lab after Gero basically showed them where it was, Krillin following him like in the original, and basically they're at the door. Now, this is where things begin to differentiate from the original, because Dr. Gero doesn't just wake up Android 17 18 here, he also wakes up Android Bulma, his newest project. And she's woken up, and much like 17 and 18, she's pretending to go along with the Doctor. Now this time, Dr. Gero has two remotes in his hand. One that can turn off 17 and 18, the other one is set to, turn off Bulma if he has trouble with Bulma. Bulma just built on a different frequency to 17 and 18. So, essentially, basically, with that and the other guys get in there, break into the lab and see Bulma standing there, they are just taken back and shocked by this. Well, at least future Gohan now knows what happens to his mum. Perhaps when he goes back to his time, he can awaken her there. He would be smart enough to maybe be able to reprogram her. And however, while Gero is distracted by the sudden explosion, Bulma snatches both remotes from Dr. Gero's hands and destroys them both. What are you doing? I created you. You created nothing. All you did was make me stronger, Doctor. And Bulma pretty much does what 17 was going to do in the original, and pretty much takes out their creator. 17 and 18 are shocked by this, and they didn't even know this new android existed. And as far as her power is concerned, she's actually stronger than they are. She was meant to be Dr. Gero's true revenge. Something stronger than 17 and 18 that could get them, that could keep them in line and kill Son Goku. It's just too bad, he really should have stuck with the machine type androids he's known to build, like in early Dragon Ball, like Major Metallotron and Android number 8. Well, maybe not Android number 8, but at least Major Metallotron obeyed orders. And well, so basically with that, Bulma basically just says hello to everyone. Essentially, her personality has not changed. No matter what Dr. Gero's programming has done to her, it effectively hasn't changed her. Or at least so it seems at this point. And so the question is what to do about Android 17 and 18. They're supposed to be the real monsters in this story after all. And, well, luckily for them that with Bulma being built as an android too, she definitely has basically sort of access to everything. She knows everything. She knows how Android 17 and 18's weak points work. She could easily conjure up a device and shut them off too if she has to. And that is basically enough to keep 17 and 18 in line for causing havoc. After all, Bulma at this point is stronger than they are. And like Android 17 and 18, has a limitless energy supply. And, well, let's see, is there anything I'm forgetting? Not only does she have information on that, she has information of a certain sub-lab in Dr. Gero's basement that's working on his ultimate secret project. This would, of course, be Cell. And Bulma has had access to all the data files and everything, and knows exactly what this creature is meant to look like when he's fully matured and everything, and he's in perfect form. But essentially, them and everybody else travel down there and pretty much destroy the sub-lab, including with 17 and 18 helping. Because basically, they're sort of listening to Bulma. She's sort of their role model here. And as for Android 16, Bulma intends to take Android 16 back to her lab and basically reprogram him from there. Get rid of this, I must kill Son Goku. My Son Goku must die. Get rid of all that. He could be very useful to him. And, well, essentially, they're able to, of course, destroy Cell, especially after Bulma told 17 and 18 that this thing is meant to destroy them. 17 and 18 personally destroy the Cell that was currently being worked on in the basement. Alright, so Bulma with 16 in hand, with both versions of her son Gohan, the past version and the future version, they're on their way back to Capsule Corp to basically reprogram Android 16. And, well, 17 and 18 are not quite sure what to do here, so I guess really essentially they just go with Bulma as well. After all, if they decide to go out and do anything, Bulma will just hunt them down and destroy them. You know, they might have been able to destroy their creator, Dr. Gero, in another timeline, but yeah, battling with Android Bulma, that would be suicide. You know, she was as strong as you know, pretty much stronger than the Ginyu Force back on Namek, and having all that stuff that makes Android 17 and 18 stronger added to her. Yeah, it wouldn't look good for 17 and 18. However, there is a new menace about to strike, and that of course is the imperfect Cell that came from future Gohan's timeline. And when after Bulma is done reprogramming Android 16 to their side also, they investigate the other time machine and find the eggshell, Bulma recognizing it from some of the diagrams and blueprints she found, and tells them right there that this belongs to Cell. That there's a Cell who somehow got a hold of future Gohan's time machine, and he's running around here somewhere. Now, is future Bulma strong enough to defeat Cell? Well, we don't know yet, and I think that's where we're gonna just leave things for right now. Right there on that awesome cliffhanger. So, what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this? I'm sorry if you guys were hoping for a rampaging evil Bulma there, but we know that Dr. Gero is very bad at building androids that obey him. So, you know, we got to have the comedy there, that all his efforts were ultimately in vain. All he just managed to do was make Bulma a stronger fighter. A fighter who could, right now, beat her husband. Could beat Vegeta. Could beat Raditz. Even beat her son. So, as always, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll get back to you guys again next time. Alright, I'll catch you later.